Good morning, friends. It's Lyssa with embellishwithalyssa.com. I am happy to be here to stamp with you today, and I have a really cool card that I think you're going to absolutely love. I used paper on it that comes from the new Stampin' Up! Catalog, which is not available to order from yet, but it will be on March 1st. And it is top secret, so I can't even show you the inside. But I can show you what I made with stuff that I already have that's from the inside. And one of those things is the Take to the Sky papers, which I really was drawn to for the masculine color scheme and the theme of flight. And so I came up with some fun expanding fancy folds. Look at that. Isn't it cool? Based on a card I got at our Stampin' Up! Convention as a swap sample from another demonstrator. And it was so cool. When I opened it, I was like, okay, I gotta try that, right? So I figured out the measurements, and here we are with my version of this expanding fancy fold. Isn't that fun? And it's a lot easier than it looks. Let me just assure you, it starts with an ordinary card base, and you fold the cover back on itself. And the other piece is just a long strip of fancy double-sided paper that you score to make this cool front. So then it just keeps opening out. And it's a great card like for retirement, so that a bunch of people could sign it in various places on the card. There's space here too. Yeah, so it's a good card to be from a lot of people if you want all their family members to sign it or something like that. So those are the fun masculine versions that I made, and I thought just for different today I would make a feminine version. So we've got Take to the Sky papers and the new Unbounded Love stamp set that I used on these airplane ones, along with the classic letters, alphabet and number set. And this is an online exclusive, and it is available right now at lyssa.stampinup.net. Just click on online exclusives and scroll around. There's all sorts of goodies on there that are not in any of the Stampin' Up! Catalogs. They're only online. So it's important to visit lyssa.stampinup.net. So I was able to personalize these cards with the birthday boy's age so that it would be really customized. So I think they're going to love those. But let's make a feminine version of it today, shall we? Okay, and if you need a copy of that catalog, just go to embellishwithalyssa.com and hit contact us and leave me your address. Happy to help. So here's a quick feminine one I whipped up this morning. I'm not completely crazy about it, so we'll see how the one I do with you turns out. Might do some different things on it this time. But I used the new, oh man, I forgot the name of this paper. Hang on, I'll look it up. Let's see. I chose this paper to start sharing stuff with because it's got all the new colors in it. So that's fun. What does it say? Flowers of Beauty is the name of the suite. Oh, yep, I guess Flowers of Beauty is the name of the paper too. Wouldn't you know? So here's what the papers look like. Aren't they pretty? So we've got Petunia Pop, Summer Sky, no, Summer Splash, excuse me, Shy Shamrock, Peach Pie, and Pretty in Pink. Isn't that fun? All sorts of pretty patterns. There we go. That one was flipped over. And they all coordinate together. Just a really beautiful paper pack. So I chose the sheet that was Summer Splash and Petunia Pie. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a long day. I cannot talk. Petunia Pop. And then it also has some tiny little Pretty in Pink in there too. And then white. So I'm going to start with a white card base. This is an ordinary card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5. So you get two of these from a sheet of 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to clear my spot and grab my Simply Scored. And let's do some scoring. Okay, so folding a card in half is score at the 4 1/4 mark. And then remember, all we have to do for the actual card base itself is fold it in half and then fold it back on itself. So if you're folding it back on itself, it would be 2 1/8 would be half of the front cover. So you have a perfect fold with a perfect half of a cover. Okay, and that is all you need to do for the card base itself, so you can set that aside. The next piece you need is a 12 by 5 1/4 strip of pattern paper, and it should be something that you like both sides of, because both sides are going to show. And then if you've got a pattern that is directional, like mine goes straight up and down, pay attention to that when you're cutting your sheet of 12 by 12 down to 5 1/4 by 12. Okay, and then whichever side you want to see the most of when the card is closed, that's what side is facing up. Okay, so let's look at the sample one more time. I have this slightly more subdued pattern on the inside where I could stamp right on it, and my wilder, busier pattern is going to be on the outside. So I'll see both when it's closed, I'll see both when it's opened, but I wanted the less busy pattern to be on the inside. So make sure your busy pattern is facing up. If you have a directional pattern, it needs to be along the ruler at the top here. Okay, that's pretty much the toughest part of the whole card, is figuring out which direction to put the paper in. All right, and we're going to actually score 4 times here. I need to get another placeholder, but we're going to score at 2. Whoops, I just skipped a track there. 4 3/4, 7 1/2, and 11 1/2. Okay, so one more time, the measurements are 2, 4 3/4, 7 1/2, and 11 1/2. All right, let's flip this over and see how we did. Now, the largest panel on here, you probably can't see my score lines, but the largest panel is a 4-inch wide panel here, and that is going to be the back of the card. So all we're going to do is take the little 1/2-inch panel, the smallest panel, flip that over and glue it down. Maybe if the glue decides to come out of the bottle today. There we go. I'm going to press that down with my bone folder so that it's good and flat. Then on that next score, you want to fold back on itself again, just like an accordion. And then there's one more score line here, and that folds back on itself as well. Okay, so when you're done, you have kind of a M looking thing, and we're actually going to glue this flap down as well. And what that's doing then is reinforcing these edges. So they get pulled a lot when the card is being opened. And if they're just one sheet of paper thick, they're going to be a little flimsy. So that reinforces these ends. And it allows us to have this cute pattern across the front. Okay, so again, there's the finished one. And there's the sample. Cool beans, huh? That's all there is to this part. So we take our easy card that was just folded in half with the front folded back on itself. We take our accordioned paper and we adhere it just to this little folded back flap. Centered, so there's an equal margin on all 4 sides. As equal as I can get it with my eyes these days. The only tricky part about that is make sure you don't get any glue on here, because it would just glue the back of the card shut completely. And you might as well send a postcard at that point, right? So once it's glued just to that flap, you have a card that keeps on expanding as you open it. It doesn't just open like that, which would be cute enough, right? But it keeps on opening. So lots of space to decorate, lots of space to write. And that is all there is to the card itself. So the rest is all decorating. If you want to skip and go run to your stamp room right now, you are welcome to do that. But if you want to watch me finish it, let's finish it, shall we? Okay. I know I'm going to need to do some stamping off. So I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper here and put the cap on my glue for now. So I've got the Petal Parks, or no, I'm sorry, Sentimental Park stamp set, which I have really enjoyed for the way you can mix and match the script and sans serif font there. So that's kind of a fun thing. And then it has different flowers and you can use them individually or you can layer them, which is a fun look. So we're going to layer today with a little bit of stamping off. So first we got to build our focal point. So this is what we're making right now. Just a simple focal point. So we'll be stamping the outline of our flowers and then stamping off to get the second strength of ink. So not as dark and bold as the first. Isn't that fun? And that was so much faster than you could ever sit there and color it, right? I love that. Let the stamps do the work for you. Excuse me. So my paper is Summer Splash. So that's what I'm using as my green, so to speak, for my florals. So I've got the outline and that was full strength. And then I'm doing second strength, or the stamping off technique, as it's called, for the leaf color. Pretty. Then I'm going to mat that on Pretty in Pink, which is the smaller flowers in this paper. Might be a little hard to see on camera. And that will help my focal point pop up off this busy card. We want it to be obvious that that is the front of the card. That's what we're looking at. Okay, and then I've got a sentiment, and you want to stamp that in your darkest color, which in my case is Petunia Pop. Available May 1st. Love that. Let's celebrate, it says. So this could be a card for any occasion, but in my little world, it's going to be an anniversary card because that is what is coming up in my little world. If you have a banner end punch, now would be the time to use it. I'm just going to clip mine with my paper snips. And of course you could also die cut a cute little sentiment strip for that too. But something skinny goes right across the bottom of our sentiment and looks really cute. I'm going to attach this now with glue dots, because they're not messy, so that's nice. They don't get all over your hand, and they stick like the dickens. So I've got 4 on there, and I put them all on the side that's going to get attached to this left-hand panel. So I didn't put any over here. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat today. I didn't put any over here because I don't want it to accidentally attach to this back part, right? So I'm just going to put that on there, and I'm making a concerted effort to be a little more asymmetrical with some things. So I'm going to adhere it down quick before I change my mind. All right. Okay, and again, we're just decorating. So if you're happy with that the way it is, you can quit there or you can continue. And enough is never enough, in my opinion, so I'm going to keep going. I've got leaves down here because I don't have that much to write on my card. So I will fill up some of this space. But it's always good to have a design for a group card, I think, and this is perfect for that. Um, let's see, what else did we have? I have best wishes on your anniversary. I'm going to put that over here this time. Last time I stamped it directly on the paper, and I wasn't bananas about the way it turned out. So let's see. And here it's their 35th anniversary. So I'm using that beautiful Classic Letters online exclusive stamp set to get my year. I'm gonna put that over here this time. Maybe down here, up here. I think here, so when you see it, when it opens, it looks kind of like part of a little collage of items over here when the card is open. What else did we have? Oh, this was a fun thing. So I have, oh, this is important too. When you close this, there is a strip that is exposed. So make sure if you stamp on this that you're not stamping right here, okay? Because it will be seen when the card is closed, and that can look kind of tacky sometimes, can't it? So this one says friend. This one says dear. And then I'm going to take my matching marker, because I'm a matchy-matchy kind of girl, Petunia Pop, and the fine-tipped end of it, and I'm going to change the end of the word friend into friends, because I'm not just giving this to one friend, I'm giving it to a couple for their anniversary. So look at that. That wasn't that hard, was it, to change that? And now it's more grammatically correct. Let's see. Double check that it is covered. Yes, it is. Okay. And then this one says love. And this one says you. Love you, dear friends. Very cute. And that, again, is all from Sentimental Park. So beautiful stamp set with a lot of fun sayings. And I'm just going to add some flowers just to kind of group my whole grouping together here. Cute. Oh, and I almost forgot the flowers over here. So let's do that. And we'll do our Stampin' Off technique again. Cute. And you can see how I varied the heights, twisted the stamp a little bit to get a slightly different look each time. Okay, now this one I do have to make sure that it oh, I got it perfect the first time. The petals are slightly different, so if you stamp the filler stamp, the second stamp, and it doesn't have the petals lined up perfectly, it will show. So just take a second to make sure that you've got the petals lined up. And then it's easy to get them in place because they're clear stamps. So even though in our case they're stained, good hot pink stains there from pink and red and purple. Love to stain photopolymer stamps, don't they? In our case though, you can still see through them and stamp just perfectly. Cute. You know what would be fun here too is, I don't know what I got on there, but something. What would be fun here too is a picture of the couple. Wouldn't that be cute? Aw, you could have a lot of fun with that. Okay, so there's a feminine version. Hang on, I had some embellishments hiding somewhere here. Yes, embellishments in the 5 new colors as well. So I'm going to use some of the Summer Splash dots just to really accent my card. Isn't that fun? So there it is, the expanding fancy fold, and we call it that because it just keeps opening. So kind of fun. Oh, I know you could also add another little piece of pattern paper here if you don't have a lot to write. That would be fine too. I guess I'll go ahead and glue this down since I cut it out. So fill it up and decorate it if you don't need to write a whole bunch in it, or if you want to write quite a bit, you have a lot of space to do it. So very versatile card, super fun, and really not that hard, was it? I hope you give it a try today. I really would like to see what you make with it. So be sure to tag me in any posts you have. with this card idea. And again, if you want the newest Stampin' Up! Catalog, I would absolutely love to be your demonstrator. You can contact me anytime, either through Facebook or at embellishwithlyssa.com, and I would be more than happy to send you a free catalog too. I will shoot for the shipping myself just to get you this new catalog, because I think everybody needs to see it. So thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And leave me a comment. Let me know if you caught the replay or you were playing along live today. See you soon.